Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Welcome to Lifestyle Solopreneur, the community for entrepreneurs who put lifestyle first. Join your host Flavia Barris as she interviews successful lifestyle solopreneurs and shares ideas to help you find the perfect balance between lifestyle, business, and self. Flavia is an attorney, marketing expert, and founder of several online academies. She's been featured in major media including BBC World News, The Wall Street Journal, The New York Post, ESPN Television, and more. Join us for this episode of Lifestyle Solopreneur.
Hi, Lifestyle Solopreneurs. Today we get to speak with Muriel Touati. She is an amazing person because she has both the buyer and seller of companies expertise. She is the founder and the CEO of Egg 3D Studio. And after spending a year evaluating 100 plus acquisitions from the buyer's perspective, she now helps B2B service founders build businesses that generate consistent qualified demand and hold up under real scrutiny. She's the author of the upcoming book, The Valuation Gap. Welcome to the show, Muriel.
Thank you, Flavia. Happy to be here.
I just love having you on because you're one of those experts that can see things from all the different angles. You can see things from the buyer side and the seller.
Yeah, now it's on the buy side, the operator side, and helping some of my clients actually exit. But I know that most of them just want to grow the business, and the strategies we'll be discussing today will help them no matter they want to sell or not.
So how did you get started in this? Because, at one point in your life, you did not have this expertise. So what was sort of your first step in this journey?
In the journey of business buying, it started last year in 2025. It was about 4 years I was living in the US, in New York. I moved here in 2021 from France. I was running my business, my online training and coaching program for my French entrepreneur there in France to leverage LinkedIn. And in 2025, I was thinking, should I create an offer for the US? I mean, I still bump into people that when I talk about what I do, some are interested, but I have nothing to offer them because my program is in French. So I was evaluating, and at some point I heard I could be buying a business. So I thought, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Plus, I could just do a loan and have it fully financed. Anyway, I went all in. I learned all about it. I've been signing a lot of NDAs to be able to access, confidential information. I submitted about 10 letters of intent, meaning I made like about 10 offers, and I got one accepted. And at that moment, I was close to buy a business. My offer was accepted, but what I was uncovering was the I don't know if I have the right word, but to say that was the moment where there were no going back. After all the struggle I had evaluating the past 100 deals, this one was just the conclusion of everything that I was finding out made me think like, no, I'm not going to pay millions of dollars to buy myself a job. No way. I can do that alone. And I've decided to instead pivot a bit my business and build Exit 3D Studio to help service a business owner build more valuable business, one they can keep or sell on their terms.
This is really interesting because you started on this journey then as a buyer. You were evaluating businesses so that you could be the owner. You could buy the business, you could step into the shoes of the former owner. But you're saying that some of these businesses, when you drill down, the owner of that business was still working in the business so that you would have to then take on their job and not just buy
Yeah,
a profitable business that could continue without them or even without your full-time involvement.
yeah, there was different scenarios, but in most cases, there was a lot of founder dependency, maybe on the sales part or the delivery or just the decision making or managing the team. It was almost impossible to remove the founder without having some sort of impact on the business.
Mhm.
So this was one of yeah, the first
Um,
things that I was noticing, but not only because there was other like three structural gaps that I was seeing too often. And this was causing me issue. Even before I knew the business was founder dependent. There was other things that I was able to identify even before that.
I like that terminology, founder dependence. To be founder dependent, it means that a company can't continue without that one important, indispensable person. And if you want to build a business that you can sell and that somebody else would be interested in who doesn't necessarily want to do your job or hold your role, yeah, you would have to make your business be almost founder independent or founder agnostic, where anyone you sell to could step into those shoes and do that role that you're doing. So you're someone that can really advise a founder, a business owner, on how to set up their business so that it's sellable. But because we focus here on the channel, with Lifestyle Solopreneur, we really like to think about lifestyle too. And I feel like that really dovetails because if you're setting up your business to be sellable, I think you're also setting up your business to allow you as the founder to take more vacations and, maybe
Yeah.
start another company and have more free time. So I love that. It really dovetails well.
Yeah, it's all about building a business that can run without you, no matter what are your plans. If you want more freedom, if you want more vacation, if you want to build something else on the side or sell eventually one day, all those four core components that I explain in my upcoming book, The Valuation Gap, those are very important to be looking at. And sometimes those are, I don't want to say easy fix, but if someone just start a new business, it's easy already to select the right business model compared to another one.
So it's really great that you focus on that founder dependency because I don't think a lot of people are already thinking about that. So I think that's a good one to teach about and to have founders make that realization that much as they love the fact that their company is theirs and their company needs them, it does make sense to create a company that could someday go on without you if you ever plan to have an exit. And maybe you never plan to sell your company, but what if you want your kids to inherit it? Or you just want to take more vacations? I think that all comes into play. But I think there is probably more that you see founders get wrong when they are creating their company structure. What are some other gaps that you can identify besides a founder dependency problem?
Yeah, the three other gaps are things that I was seeing as a prospecting buyer was the customer concentration, the fact to have client that represents, let's say, 20% or 30% of the revenue of the company. This was a red flag and a big problem for, a buyer to buy a company because the client could be attached to the founder again and be leaving the moment the founder leaves too. So, and also, if you don't want to sell your business, this is also a big risk for you. I had client who was only working with one client, like 100% of the time, almost like a job. And the day the contract finish, then you are left with nothing. I almost want to say it's even relevant for like employees. Like sometimes they only work for one employer. The day the contract finish is just, it's a risk, a big risk. And so customer concentration. The second one is the revenue predictability. The fact that, okay, how it's been going in the past 3 years, plus the trailing 12 months. So we'll look, and can we predict that this is going to continue in the future? Is it in the contract? Is it something where we are sure that the monthly, is there any monthly recurring revenue here, or do we start new every month? Is it project based or a recurring, like a retainer? And the last one is what I call like digital assets, all the presence, the website, the acquisition engine, the different funnels, social media. Do they worth something? Meaning, do they bring any business, or are just there to look pretty? Is it brochure website, or can we actually see that the website has traffic? Does it rank on and Google? So all this is analyzed by a potential buyer, and when we see it's weak, the presence is weak, then mentally we know, okay, so the business only work because of referral. And again, referral because the founder is there. So if there is no acquisition engine, there is no business that can be, no revenue that can continue once the founder leaves.
And in your own consulting work, do you focus on helping people buy businesses, or do you prefer to focus on helping people make their business sellable? Or do you just like to sort of be in the middle and do both?
So I am more focused on helping founders making their business sellable, meaning that I run a done for you system that gets B2B service founders warm leads through LinkedIn and email working together. I handle the positioning, the content, the lead generation, and they just show up to close. This means I am building the acquisition engine amongst other offers that I have. But this is one of the flagship because it's the done for you version of my program that has helped hundreds of French entrepreneurs. So now it's the done for you version, and a good acquisition engine that bring constantly leads and meeting on the calendars adds value and helps solve founder dependency on the marketing and sales aspect. It helps solve the customer concentration. With more leads, more clients, you have less concentration in revenue. It's more spread amongst different accounts, and you can predict better the revenue that are coming. Of course, the business model also is important. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but maybe it's the second time I say it. When you create your offer, or when you have your offer, you need to make sure that it has some sort of retainer so you can predict what is coming in the future. I made that mistake before by sometime working on one-off project or running an online training and coaching program and having my client pay one time upfront. So it was a bit of a hamster wheel. You constantly have to bring new clients to keep making revenue instead of monetizing the one that was in already. So I didn't get advised properly. Like the mentor that I have did not advise me well now that I've found this out, but I like to spread the word on that. It's important to have recurring revenues. Find a way.
Because recurring revenue is really looked at differently than the up and down of other
Yeah,
kinds.
and if you ever want to scale, this is the way you can scale by having a baseline every month and you increase it. You don't start from zero every month. Like having to make a sale, at least a sale or two or three or more to be able to pay yourself at the end of the month.
I'm excited for your new book, The Valuation Gap.
Thank
I mean,
you.
congratulations. That's huge. We have a lot of listeners that are aspiring authors or are experienced authors. And I, myself included, I have written books. And I think that when you write a book, it sort of forces you as an expert to become even more of an expert because you're forced to see if there's any gaps in your knowledge because you're putting it on paper. You
Yeah.
are clarifying and explaining what you know, taking it out of your brain and putting it into an organized format. I love books. I mean, clearly I love books.
Yes.
Even my real estate brokerage, I named it Bookmark Realty. So, and our tagline is your next chapter away. So books are my
Ah.
thing for sure. So tell us a little bit about that part of your entrepreneurial journey because you became an author. You've done this amazing thing. Was it challenging to write a book? And I'm assuming you're translating it, that it will be available in French and that it will be available.
I didn't do it yet. Yeah, I think I wrote it because, first of all, I had too much material from all those deal evaluation. That was too much that I had available not to be using it for something. I didn't want this to go to waste, like all these days spending in data room and learning and so I had to do that. Also, when I decided to create Exit 3D Studio, I had no audience in the US at all. Nobody knew me. So I had a bit of that imposter syndrome. I say, okay, I have to do something to be credible, to show that I know something, or someone that would like to learn more can read the book, for example. And so was it challenging to rate it? I think with all the material that I had first to, I think, create, that was the outline. And after I just went one by chapter and I did a lot of iteration and just adding more and adding more. And after I had the, editor and proofreader and to develop a little bit some of the ideas and after I used a tool to format it because I tried to take someone to do it, but I felt it was something a bit automated and I kept making changes also. I think it was a bit annoying. So I said, okay, I'm just taking that tool and I formatted myself. At first I created the 6.9 version and I received it. So I didn't like it. It was too thin. Okay, reformat everything, make it a 5 point like format. And yeah, did the cover many times also.
Well,
Now I
kudos.
think I have something. Huh?
Yeah, kudos to you. That's a huge accomplishment. Great job.
Thank you.
I can't wait to check out the book for sure. Where can people get the book?
So it will be available on Amazon on July 27, and it's possible to get it on my website, exit3dstudio.com/the-value. You can download the first chapter free and just order it from there. You have the link to the Amazon page.
Well, you've got your first chapter free, so there's no excuse not to check out this book because you can read that first chapter as a preview. We always post all of the very generous things that our guests offer to the audience on podcastguestgift.com. So if you go to the website directly, which is Exit 3D Studio, so give us your URL one more time so people can go direct.
Yeah, exit3dstudio.com/ and you can get the first chapter free or pre-order or order the book directly. It's available in ebook and in paperback format, and not available in French yet. For now, I do it in English, and we'll see how
We'll
this goes.
see next
Yeah.
Sunday. And I will go ahead and post that URL in our guest gift vault. So again, podcastguestgift.com. It'll take you there as well, or you can go direct. Either way is fine. If you do go to podcastguestgift.com, you'll also have access to any other freebies and offers and just generous gifts that all of our guests provide to the audience. So thank you for that. I have one last question. What is kind of a list of your top favorite industries that you've worked with or you've studied? Because there's so many different types of businesses, and your principles would apply to any business, any industry, but I'm curious if you have some favorites.
Yeah, I work usually with service, B2B service business owners, and that include, I like tech companies as well as, but also was like service agency firm, thing. And also I've worked a lot with coaches and trainers, speaker as well, those who are their own brands, because this is an interesting one. They are fully founder dependent for sure, but there are many things that can be done to just detach a little bit and improve.
Yeah, that's hard because if you're the face of your business, I can think of a few different businesses where the person behind the business, behind the logo, is just as visible and important to the consumer or to the clients. So, yeah, no, I think this is a really fascinating topic. I plan to check out your book. I encourage everybody to go and download it, at least that first chapter. And then from there, I'm sure you're going to want to buy the book because there's a lot there for people buying a business, but also for someone founding a business and planning
Yeah,
to someday
it's
sell.
yeah, it's mainly for founders, but it can help those who are thinking about buying for sure, and definitely those who are thinking about selling. But if you have a business, you want to build your business or fix the business to be on the right foundation. Because if you're not, you're limiting your growth. And at the end of each chapter, there is a buyer lens diagnostic where you can evaluate where you are at and see what you should be fixing first.
Amazing. So, what are some parting words for people that are listening? All of us listening to you speak, and you have so much experience helping business founders and just sharing your expertise, because I love that you do podcasts like this and that you wrote a book and that you're out there sharing your expertise with others. So what words of wisdom would you have for somebody that is putting their business together and has big dreams and would love to someday sell? What are some first steps besides buying your book that they can take to position their company to be scalable and also to have an exit strategy?
Yeah, like choose the right business model. Don't make the mistake that I made. And don't think you have to do everything yourself. You can delegate. There are certainly things you can delegate in your daily activity. You can document what you do and see, maybe you delegate to a person, or you build, or you have someone build for you some system, or you just work with other experts that can help you solve issues that you are encountering in your business. So don't be afraid to delegate and choose the right business model.
I love it. Muriel, it's been so nice speaking to you today, having you on the show, having you be a part of this channel where we really are helping people build businesses that can scale, that can be sold. And again, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Flavia, for having me today. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I can't wait to share it with my audience as well.
Guess what, lifestyle solopreneurs? If you don't yet have an online business earning you enough passive income to live the life of your dreams, I'd like to suggest you consider trying out Kajabi. Kajabi is an all-in-one solution where you can create and teach online courses, publish a paid newsletter, launch a free or paid podcast, process payments, build one-on-one coaching portals for your clients, and much, much more. I personally use Kajabi to power numerous successful and profitable online businesses. Lifestyle solopreneurs, there's a free trial of Kajabi waiting for you at this link, www.kfreetrial.com. You can try Kajabi for free, no obligation, by going to www.kfreetrial.com. Again, kfreetrial.com, and that K stands for Kajabi. Starting an online business helped me break free from that corporate grind, and I hope it does the same for you. You have nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Don't forget to subscribe to the show, and see you next time.